This next section we're going to talk about is kind of what we're looking at on the screen and how to navigate and find our way around and locate all of our palettes and that sort of stuff. I'm just going to open up a sample image. Dune here is a good one. Brings it up. Before I do anything, let me just kind of tell you what you're looking at. Across the top, File, Edit Image. This is called the menu bar. Directly underneath that are a series of buttons called the application bar. And they do things, like right now it's showing us our image at 100%. There's another way to zoom out and zoom in, which we'll talk about in a minute. This over here on the right, like this button, lets me view my image in what's called standard screen mode, which is what this is, where I can have access to my desktop if I need to in the back. If I want to come back to Photoshop, I just click back on my image and it brings it back up. And you can tell we're there because you can kind of see all the Photoshop stuff again. The other way to view your screen is in full screen mode with a menu bar, which I kind of like. It gives me this gray matte border around everything. And that's why I'm going to leave it. Underneath that, there's a section called the control panel. And all this stuff changes as we move through our toolbox. You see that? The control panel relates to whatever tool I'm on. So as we learn about these tools, like in this case, if I was on the lasso tool, these options change. The variables change. If I was on the, I don't know, the text tool, the variables are going to change too. Okay, so we'll get to all that. Over on the right side, this what you're looking at over here, this is called the panel dock. Panel dock. And these are all docked panels. Panels or palettes is what I call them. So if you want to see what a palette looks like, you can click on this case. In this case, color pops it up. And these are all these different docked panels or docked palettes, and you can toggle between them. You can close that up by clicking that little arrow, and it brings it back down. So it's kind of convenient. This saves you the time from having to, like here's adjustments, and here's these adjustment settings. It's faster than having to go up here and go to image adjustments, figure out where they are. Now, you'll learn where they are, and you'll learn what these shortcuts are, but Photoshop's just made this a little bit faster by having those on the right side like that. So you'll get used to those. I'm still getting used to them too. There's layers. You'll use it all the time. You get to it and just pop it out. If you forgot and you want to know where all your palettes are, your panels, they're underneath window at the top of the screen. They're arranged alphabetically. You can bring up whatever you want. If I want to look at the history palette, I click on it. Brings it up. Pulled it out of this dock on the right side. If I go back to window, you can see there's a check mark next to history. That's how we know it's open. You can click here to close it back up. This over on the left side is your main toolbox. So if I ever mention your toolbox, go to someplace in your toolbox. This is it. It's a vertical strip. It's also listed underneath window. You'll see at the bottom it's called Tools. I'll be telling you guys shortcuts as often as I think of them. One of them that I'm thinking of right now, you hit your tab button on your keyboard. It takes away all your palettes and your toolbox. Okay, so just to remember now, first of all, what we've talked about, know that as you go through different tools, these characteristics up here change. The options for the tools will change in this control panel. So when I mention the control panel, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, in the next section, we're going to talk about basic navigation.